MDH. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope the loss of sound and or vision didn't impede your enjoyment of this first game. Somebody forgot to hit go live. Well, that was me. So here we are as we're on now with the match. A little bit of a first oopsie. It's been a while. Macy Branch will send it over. Popped up by Kirby in the back row. Set to the outside to Williams, and she'll hit it wide and outside. And the Cyclones go up 16-9. Branch comes back again, pounds it through. Up and into the net. It'll drop down and good for point number 17. And Will, as we're going along here, Payson just seems to, they have these stretches of about 3 or 4 points where they just can't seem to return it.
Yeah, but earlier this match, if you weren't able to see, it was a bit of an inch-ring game, as we described it, but it seems they can't make up their loss anymore.
18-9 now. And that one hits the top of the net, so it'll go back over to Payson, down by 8 here in this game number 1. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. Tegan Moss will let it go. Served in the back row off of Webster. Back up to the net. Payson tried to send it back, couldn't. And now Kirby over with it. Over to Starbuck. They set for Adams. She'll lollipop it high into the back and drop it home. It is 19-10. Now don't forget, we'll have our senior night festivities. And I will give you a heads up. I'm going to start things, and I'm going to have to run down the stairs real quick. And then you won't have much commentary, sorry, but not that you probably need it. Set up for O'Dear in the middle, going to bring across to Barkley. Set outside for Webster and popped up by Stefan. Williams can't get there. And the Cyclones up the lead to 20-10. (20-10) here, serve brought through by Barkley. Stefan going to bring it up to the front row, and we're going to have an illegal attack whistled on Moss. As the official said, no Moss. And they'll bring it across again, 21-10. Cyclones looking to close out game number 1. Drops an ace right in, as that is a Brett Powell Country Financial ace. And Alexa Barkley 3 away from shutting the faucet off on game number 1. Serve, back row to Stefan, popped up to the front to O'Dear. And now they'll bring in the middle for Adams. Off the hands of O'Dear with the, and drops in for the Tom Conklin State Farm kill. And it is 23-10. Barkley back row off Stefan. O'Dear sets it. Bumped over by Kirby and now played by Starbuck. They'll bring it up front for Adams. One-hand save there by Stefan, but couldn't get it. And it's game point, 24-10. (24-10) lead. Back again comes Alexa Barkley. Barkley screams it over. Off Kirby. That one over and out of bounds. And that's a game winner as the Cyclones win it game 1 by a 25-10 margin. Don't forget to stop by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. They offer the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer the Cyclones on to victory. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2023. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all of your needs for LP, seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area, and as a customer, they will take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121. Pawn Plus is proud to have served Macomb and over the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Airco and Taco Bell. Just some of our many fine sponsors here on TSSR Game Time Live. And they'll get ready for game number 2 of the match on the floor. For the Cyclones, J.C. Reynoso, Madeline Sullivan, also Macy Branch, Madison Adams, Kennedy Webster, and Alexa Barkley. Abby Starbuck will come on in just a moment. And on the floor for Payson, it is O'Dear Williams, joined by Moss, Stefan, and also Cosmo Dolbear, along with Libby Nyson. Officials making their list and checking it twice here. And glad you are alongside here on this evening. Of course, once we get this stream done, we'll ditch aside. I will start things up so that we can get the senior night activities on, as they honor 4 seniors here this evening, one my own daughter. So again, I'll get you started, and then I will zip away. Moss will serve it here for Payson. Hammers it across off of Barkley. Sullivan going to pop it high. Barkley, that one into the net, and in between Adams and Sullivan, makes it 1-0 Payson. Serve again, back row. Webster trouble with it, launches into the fans. The fans do return the souvenir. And Jake Beck actually returning it. Moss will send it across again. Serves off of Webster, set up for Adams. And now Kirby gets it up to Williams. Williams bring it over. Sullivan pops it high. Out to Branch. She'll lob it over, and Kirby's underneath it for Payson. Set up in the front for O'Dear. She'll roll it over and down and in. And how about that, Will? Payson takes a 3-0 lead in this game number 2.
A nice flip-flop from the previous events.
Moss lets it sail again. Low line drive off of Barkley. Sullivan going to set it up to her. Barkley lobs it high, and Kirby is underneath it. They'll set it to Williams on the outside, off of Starbuck and down and good. And it's 4-0, and Drew Snyder's seen enough. He'll take a timeout, so will we, right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And we're back here with a 4-0 lead here for Payson in game number 2. And they're at the serve again. Serve taken by Barkley. Sullivan sets it for Branch. She'll flip it through, and they'll bring it outside. Williams, and they're going to say it did not get across in the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits. That makes it 4-1. Shipman in, Sullivan out for West Prairie. Macy Branch back to serve it now. Her serve taken by Stefan, hit into the wall, and that makes it 4-2. The Cyclones try to claw their way back in. Or would you say storm their way back in, I guess would be proper verbiage. Stefan with it into the back row. Across it comes to Barkley. Set up for Branch. Barkley loads it up, and Kirby's going to dig it up off the blocks. Out for Williams. That one into the top of the net. No good. And it makes it 4-3. Macy Branch waiting here again. I'm not sure. And I don't know whether they were looking for a wet spot or something on the floor. Served by Branch to Stefan. Popped up, and then Williams will tip it through, down and good off the blocks. And Payson reclaims a 2-point advantage at 5-3. Williams will load it up here for West Prairie. She gets ready to wind to it. Pounds it. And it is off of a Starbuck backer up to Adams. Blocked. And the Cyclones not able to control it. So here goes Payson inching the lead back out to 6-3. Williams will eye it again. Readies, winds it up, sends a low line drive. Webster hits it sideways to Branch. Back set for Barkley. She'll launch it off Kirby. O'Dear up front for Stefan. Back row Starbuck. To Branch, out for Shipman. She'll let it down. Williams brings it up. Kept up at the front line by Moss and then hit through by Neeson. Up it comes, and Madison Adams able to kiss one off the blocks and make it 6-4 and a side out back for West Prairie. 6-4 lead here. And now Alexa Barkley pounds it across. Low line drive, Stefan underneath it. Popped high at the net and then hit into it by Nyson. And the Cyclones make it 6-5. Pounded back row, Alexa Barkley off Kirby. Bring it to the outside, Stefan winds up. Barkley able to dig it off the light, and down it goes. So once again, Payson keeping the fight up. O'Dear will serve for Payson. Deep back row, Starbuck is there. Branch up with it to Adams, serves it across off of O'Dear. Moss up front for Dolbear. And bring it across, dug by Adams. Webster helps it out. Adams tips it over, and O'Dear takes it. Brings it into the middle. Adams going to flip it right back and says, "Thou hast not deposited, thou shalt not get a return." (7-6) in game number 2 here. As Abby Starbuck pounds it over off Kirby, off the ceiling. Williams kind of weakly hits it up and it evens us up at 7-up. Abby Starbuck wanders to it again. Low line drive. That one going to go out of bounds. And the Cyclones will give it back over here to Payson. Nyson comes out as Rice comes in. And Payson hoping they will let Rice cook. Yes, sir. Branch up to Shipman. She'll tip it back row. Kirby can't get there in time. The Cyclones get it right back. Madeline Sullivan in. Mason Shipman out for West Prairie. As Abby Starbuck goes back to serve it here. Madeline Sullivan eyeing it up at the back row. Low line drive serve. Williams is up high in the air. Up the outside, Stefan. Over to Barkley. Up it comes for Sullivan. Outside for Webster. Knocks it home. And the Cyclones claim their first lead of game number 2. First lead for them here in this game number 2. Sullivan comes to it again. Back row off Kirby. High up in front. And Stefan will lollipop it through over to Sullivan. She'll tip it back, and Kirby caught once again in the back row. Payson gets caught and makes it 10-8, Cyclone lead. Cyclone lead. As Madeline Sullivan will eye it up here. And Dolbear sends it through. Played now by Webster. She'll tip it across. Williams on the run, back over to Sullivan. Barkley eyes it, Sullivan across. Rice brings it up. Now Rice will pop it up. Sullivan serves that one into the net, so that's going to bring it back over to Payson. 11-9, they get to within 2 now. As back again to serve comes Stefan. Stefan ready to let fly. High floater off of Starbuck. Sullivan outside for Barkley, brought across by Kirby. And up for Williams. Williams at the load up. Blocked partially. Starbuck with it. Tipped over by Sullivan and catches him in the back row. And Will, that's a case of fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. (12-9) lead. Kennedy Webster the serve. Kirby gets it. It's up to the net. Madison Adams tips it. Dolbear keeps it alive. And Nyson hits it across. Actually, not Nyson. That's Moss. And then the Cyclones hit it in the net. So Payson makes it 13-10. Kirby comes to it. Kind of takes a long wind up. Pounds it back row. It was not out, it was in. And the Indians make it 12-11. That one was in on the back line. I don't have instant replay, but it was. Winds the serve, sends it across, and that one high deep and generally unplayable.
Seems the inchworm's about to rev up again.
Yeah. The inchworm has revved up again. It is 13-11. Cyclones leading as J.C. Reynoso will serve it here. And off of Rice. Hit up by Stefan. Bumped across by Kirby. And Webster's on it. Sullivan to the outside to Barkley. Off of Stefan. They'll bring it to the outside. It is Williams. And it's bumped over. Barkley takes it. Sullivan just got a tip. O'Dear gets it. Stefan up. And now sent through by Nyson. They're going to bring it up for Branch. She'll just bump it over. Williams takes it. Set for Williams back on the outside. Into the net she goes with it. The Cyclones extend it to 14-11. 3-point advantage here, 14-11. J.C. Reynoso back again. Comes to it. Off of Stefan. High in the air. Tipped across. And off of Sullivan. Webster going to set her up. Sullivan attacks it off the top of the net. Rice right back with it. And Reynoso is there. Outside for Barkley. Back row. Kirby off the ceiling. And it comes right back to her. 4-point lead now. 15-11 for the Cyclones. It is 15-11. Serve over off of Stefan. To the outside to O'Dear. She'll pound it right through two Cyclones. They're going to say out. So Cyclones lead it now 16-11. Reynoso again. Kind of a short serve this time. Kirby up with it. Outside for O'Dear, and she just drops it right home where they don't roam. It makes it 16-12. Abby Starbuck in. Reynoso goes out. As Moss will try to put some moss on the scoreboard for Payson. Her serve, line drive, rolls over the let serve. Makes it 16-13. Payson not going away in this game number 2. Serve back row. They'll hit it up high. Sullivan outside for Branch. Off the blocks, down and good. And the Cyclones get one back and make it a 17-13 advantage. Mason Shipman in. Madeline Sullivan out for the Cyclones. Macy Branch will let it fly. Wind sends off of Stefan. Up to Nyson to hit over. Now played by the Cyclones. Up for Adams. She'll hit it over. Williams brings it up. Moss to Williams off of the ceiling. Branch in one hand save. Starbuck pounds it over, and Steffen's got it. Payson not able to handle it. Drops in, 18-13 lead. Cyclones trying to put a little room in between them and the Indians of Payson-Seymour. As Branch, nice serve there, nice and back across to Barkley. They load it up there, tap through. Set up there by Moss for Williams. Back row off of Starbuck. Over for Barkley. Barkley off Kirby. Popped high. And then O'Dear bringing it through. Set up for Adams to bump across. And then tipped over by Moss. Webster to the net. Brought back by Branch. Adams over with it. Steffen's got it. Now they'll set it in the middle for O'Dear. Off the blocks. Down it goes. And Payson gets it back. Payson has kept this fairly close. As Williams will let it go. Williams eyes it up, sends it, and brings it low. Starbuck not able to get there, drops down, and Payson back to within 3. They have hung around in this game number 2. Done some pretty good things as they've managed to keep themselves in. As Williams, low line drive, that one into the net. And it comes back over for West Prairie. 19-15, 6 away from closing this JV match out. As Barkley sends that one off Kirby. Popped high, Steffen into the net with it. They say it was blocked. Over to Webster to Shipman. She'll tip it across. Williams. Outside Steffen unloads, and that one goes out of bounds. So the 20-point mark reached now by the Cyclones. As Barkley pounds. Sends it off to Steffen. Set up for O'Dear. She'll try to hit it across. Cannot do it. And it makes it 21-16. Timeout called by Payson. Will step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
There we go. And we're back here, and again, hopefully loss of sound and/or vision did not affect your enjoyment of our game here tonight. What can I say? The old man's rusty. Moss up with it to Steffen, lobs it through, taken by Barkley. Up for Webster, she'll hit it off the net and drop it down and in. Doesn't matter how it goes down, as long as it scores the point. And the Cyclones lead it 22-15. 22-15 advantage. Barkley pounds it over, out of bounds. So 22-16, O'Dear will come back. Cosmo Dolbear comes in for Payson. O'Dear pounds it over across of Webster. Branch up to Adams, and it's sent. They try to keep it up, cannot do it. 23-16. Abby Starbuck back to serve now for the Cyclones. She'll hit that one across off of Kirby. Williams over. Dolbear kind of side. I can't even describe how she hit it. Reynoso brings it back, though, and puts it in and good. 24-16. It is 24-16 now. 8-point lead. Starbuck off of Williams to the net. They cannot get it out of there, and that wraps her up in 2. as the Cyclones take it home and win this one in 2 here. Folks, we're going to run aside. We're going to jump out of this real quick and then come back with the stream as we get ready for senior night activities. So hang tight there. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.